In my soul, in my soul, in my soul, in my soul, I could so alone. I could so alone. I could so alone. In my soul, in my soul, in my soul, in my soul.
In powerlifting, the absolute specificity is that we get good at lifting heavy singles in the squat, bench, and deadlift. However, building muscle is both specific to bodybuilding and powerlifting, but there are just different levels of specificity.
As we've talked about building up work capacity, they've been doing that over a long period of time. It is a long, frustrating process where you know that you can do more, but the idea behind it is that when you step onto that platform, that is the easiest bit.
Where I'll offer kind of examination assessments to work out what niggles you have, and then I can offer either deep tissue, soft tissue, or kind of mobilizations just to help work through those, as well as kind of rehab and kind of mobility work just to help you perform at your best.
So when we are training, we are of course looking to build muscle, build conditioning, even build our aerobic capacity in some shape or form. We like to treat everybody as an athlete.
In powerlifting, we are focusing on moving from point A to point B as quickly as possible within the shortest range of motion that it allows. Whereas bodybuilding, where we're moving that point A to point B, it's about sort of engaging our muscle as much as possible, using tempo work, using partial reps, using all of the above from there as well. But that incorporates into our training too.
I've been doing kind of sports therapy work for a little while now, my background being with American football and rugby. So most injuries, been there, seen it, so any problems or issues you have, please come see me before this meet so I can just have a quick scan to make sure you're okay and you can perform at your best.
We can be quite, I as a coach can be quite harsh and really double down on people when it comes to their nutrition, when it comes to their sleep, when it comes to everything else, because essentially what we are trying to do is get you to live and become an athlete.
The difference between that 3x10 and where we get video analysis from you guys is that we program your accessory work around how you lift. So everyone is a different shape and different size, and we build those accessories around what will help you build up your bench press. So if you are naturally a wider grip, then we know that we need to add some additional tricep work for that end lockout. So that's the difference between us and maybe perhaps your standard coach, is that we dive a little bit deeper into what's going to make that SBD.
To be successful in powerlifting, we need to be thinking about longevity. We need to be making sure that we're implementing things that are going to reduce our risk of injury. So, with warming up, we need some activation and some mobility. I think probably the biggest misconception with mobility is that people think it just means flexibility. It's not. Flexibility is passive, so static stretches like touching your toes. We really want to be limiting that in our warm-ups because it takes out the stretch reflex and it means that our maximum force output will not be as good. So we're going to go through some activation first.
I'm the one. I'm a one-to-one, I could never be you. Low me tools, no I can't be fooled. Low me tools, no I hate these dudes. I'm a one-to-one, I can never be you. Anything you could do, I can do better. I can do better than you. Anything you could do, I can do better. I can do better than you. Drop my first single, let go, he rap.
Right. Can we grab, everybody, there's 2 bars here. If we could just do a set of RDLs with them first. Cool, when you guys are done with that, everyone okay and happy starting at 60, or would you like to start lighter? Okay, cool. We'll go through, if you could load that bar up for sumo as well, and we're just gonna go through the conventional deadlift. The most important thing is if you fuck up step 1, the rest of it's fucked. It's not gonna work, okay? Step 1 was making sure that you are closer to the bar. Now what I want you to do, put your hands down by your side and RDL slowly down to the bar with your hands down by your side. Good, keep going? Keep going, okay, cool. So, from this position, I want you to take the tension out the bar and engage your lats. Cool, and now stand up from, good. Just only push through the earth. Keep going. That last one was sloppy. Take the tension out of it. Take the tension out of the bar, push. We like to swoop down into it like she's doing here. It's still under control, but that is gonna be a bit more powerful than just pushing from the floor. Reason is you have stretch reflex, and that stretch reflex is what you wanna do. So imagine if you're doing a poor squat, you take some of that stretch reflex out, it's infinitely harder, right, than just going down and using the bounce at the bottom. That's what that is. That kind of swoop down into it is gonna help you to produce more power off the floor. Let's try and maybe have a look at sumo. The sumo deadlift, again, entirely depending on your technique, there's loads of different ways to skin the cat. So again, this is more about building a wedge. I would try and come here first, yeah? First of all, hands straight down in front of you. That's it. Hands a bit wider. Hands a bit wider. I reckon your hips could be a bit higher. That's it. And tighten up your back now. Pull everything up to the sky with your chest. Bit more slack needs to be taken out the upper back. So really pull your upper back up before the bar leaves. That's it. And now stand with your legs. That's better. Always dead close to your shins. Tighten up. Eyes forward. Head up. Good.
Is it on? Is it on? So with hand positioning on squats, we want to go as close in as your shoulder mobility allows, but that not necessarily means that's going to be better for you, because then due to the width of the bar, it could wobble around, it could cause your wrists to be doing that as well. Wrist straps could help, they're a bit more of like a short-term fix versus like a longer-term fix. So then we can look at where the bar rests in your hand. So if it's resting a little bit more in your palm, then we can so we don't necessarily have to grip round the bar, so that might feel uncomfortable. You see Michael, in a minute, Michael is doing something called tail and grip, which allows him to get that extra little bit of tightness in his back, but it's also taking pressure off the ulnar nerve in his arm as well. So when you grip tight, obviously remember all of these are working within here as well, because he's had some shoulder issues and some back issues. We're taking that strain away, but then it's also allowing him that extra ability to then go in there too. Okay. So these guys, they're working up to near enough for 1 rep max. They've earned the right to do an SBD day, so we're just taking them through what they need to be doing, kind of mimicking what they're going to be doing on comp day as well, so just replicating those competitions. Right, are we good to go? So you what? So he drops his pinky finger in here and it allows him to tuck his elbows in tighter. So hips are under the bar, head up, nice unrack. Settle. Okay. Big lat pull down. Squat. Jump. Oh, lovely. Good man. Good. Best one. So I'm cueing jump from the floor. It's a really simple cue, but if you think of I want him thinking about jumping through that light, like to the point of it's gonna, in his head, literally, that initial pop out the hole is just gonna make that difference. We don't need to overcomplicate our cues. A lot of people will try and go, right, spread your adductors and all this kind of stuff, which is great, but for the general consensus, they're not gonna understand. Whereas a simple cue like jump, a simple cue like stay big, is gonna transfer better, in my opinion anyway. Right, Cam, 1 rep. Right, bring yourself over to the right. There. Hips under, head up. Let the bar settle. Head up. Squat. Nice. Good. Right. So remember that lat pull down cue, really tight. Head up, big brace. Right, let the bar settle. Breathe into that belt, squat, 1 rep. Jump. Oh, nice, there you go. I personally, and I have done a video on this, I personally don't like the thumb loop. It gets in the way. When you're like wrapping really tight, you're not allowed it on your thumb in comp. Because they say it could add some extra horsepower and all that kind of stuff as well. So I personally will grab it like that. That's much better. Now get your feet set, brace. There you go. Right, let the bar settle and squat. Jump. Good, Eddie. And again. Nice. And again. Jump. Lovely. There you go. How do those wrist straps feel? More like steady, yeah? Yeah, you will. Right, boys, bar.
Okay, right, come and sit on the bench. So she's going to slide right up the bench. She's going to place her feet back. Tiff has built a really good arch over time, so she can keep her feet planted back and then wedge herself in using the bar. No arch hate here. So she's going to pull her shoulder blades down and back. She's just using the sides of the rack to really wedge herself in. Make sure she's nice and tight. She's going to get a strong grip of the bar. Really, really tight hands around the bar. And act as if she's bending that bar as well. That's going to keep her upper back nice and tight. Bring it over. And she's just going to bring it down to the bottom of her sports bra. And then hold it for a slight pause, and then nice and fast elbows on the way up. Good. Constantly driving through her legs. Pushing up the bench through the fronts of her shoes. Really nice fast elbows. Power off the chest. Keeping that bending of the bar the whole time. Good, pop it back. If her lats come untight at any point, then the bar path is going to be thrown off, and that is not what we want on the bench. That is going to cause a lot of issues off of the chest. But yeah, well done. That's it. I'd go that way a little bit more. Just get your eyes set underneath the bar. Wrap those thumbs around for me. That's it. Nice tight grip. Make sure it's stacked on top of your ulnar. Okay, ready? Rub it in. Press. Keep that bar path nice. Press. Better. Press. So with the bar placement, at the moment your wrists are kind of cocked back. So that's going to be harder to move more weight. We want to make sure that it's stacking right over that joint. So you just need to hold the bar. If you grab the bar, a good thing to do actually is this, and then slide them out. And then slide them out, and that will get you in that right position. Does that make sense? Stack it over that joint a little bit better. Yeah, does that, yeah, can you feel it? Yeah. And you get a lot of wrist pain when they're cocked back like that with the heavier weights, which is why you'll then see a lot of people wearing those wrist wraps just to get a bit of extra support.
I'm okay, I'm going to try again.
So we have the band on the bench just because it just creates a bit more of a grip. So you're able to hold that position on the bench a little bit more. Some people like to chalk their back. I like to bench in a sports bra so my skin grips a little bit better. But obviously if you're in t-shirts, sliding around, you can't stay very tight on the bench. So just banging a band on there will just give you a little bit more grip.
My soul on fire.
Loved it. I loved it. I haven't deadlifted, squatted, or benched in a few months, and I just feel like I'm really missing it now. I'm really, really missing it, and that was thanks to the team. So it was great.
Oh, it was incredible. I learned so much, because I haven't competed before. I was making sure to ask what the commands were, and then also for my deadlift, because I switched from pulling conventional to sumo. Nick gave me some really helpful tips on how to sort of set up and stuff, so that really helped, and then got a big PB, so yeah, it was great. Yeah.
I've actually loved it. It's really nice, like meeting like all the other people and just seeing everyone's different. Like some people are better at one thing than the other or enjoy something a bit more. And just like I'm actually learning stuff while I'm here as well, which has been really nice.
It's been great. It's been really nice to meet the team finally. I've only met a few people so far. Yeah, it's been really good, and also like obviously to go through my lifts of different coaches as well, to get different opinions. It's been really helpful.
Today's been exciting. There's a few new people. As one of the members, sort of the more experienced members of the team, I've enjoyed sort of talking to everyone, getting to know everyone. It's been a nice learning curve for me as well.
Definitely make the time to come. It's super helpful, and yeah, I wouldn't miss it. I would not miss it.
I learned a lot on technique and everything. Even if you don't feel like you know anything, like you can start from any point. And even if you know a lot, it's still good for someone to like check up on your form and things. So yeah, it was really good.
I have learned a few new warm-ups that I wouldn't have done before. When Shah took us through our warm-ups, it was sort of quite comprehensive, it really in-depth, and I've definitely picked up a few new warm-ups that I'll be utilising in my training, especially as I come into sort of the start of a prep for my next competition. So definitely some valuable knowledge that I've learned as well.
So obviously I train with Nick, so I'm learning all the time with him anyway. But just that everyone's really different. Like it depends on like how tall you are, short you are. Everyone's different, so you just got to be on your own journey, I suppose. Because I do put myself down a little bit with like my strength and stuff, but actually you should just be proud of yourself for what you can do, and I think that's what today has proved to me, definitely.
If you want to get into it, you just have to do it. Like, and in my opinion, the best way to do that is just to go all out, sign up to coaching. Like, you may as well just go straight to it. Get a coach and just throw yourself in the lifestyle. That's what I did, and it's been one of the most helpful things I could have ever done for my mental health and my body. So yeah, I just think if you have any doubts, you have to just go for it. You have to ignore them. Just do it.